Hey, this is Steve Cardenas, a.k.a. Rocky the Red Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and you are watching The Daily Hero. Morphin' time!
Yes! Hey, Steve, thank you so much for joining us and doing an interview today. I got a couple quick questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, what and how got you involved in Power Rangers? Like, how did you get involved with it?
I was living in Dallas, Texas. I grew up in Texas, and I was teaching karate, and so I'd been doing martial arts since I was a kid, and I was familiar with Power Rangers because back then I used to just watch anything that was martial arts on TV. I loved it.
Huge part of childhood in the 90s.
So I was already older by this point, but I watched the show anyway because I like to watch the fight scenes.
Yeah.
And I secretly used to go, man, I could do what those guys are doing, just laughing about it and not really ever dreaming that I'd ever get anything. But one day, I was listening to the radio, and a commercial comes on, and it says, hey, we are looking for new Power Rangers. If you know how to do karate and gymnastics, come down to the local TV station on Saturday and try out. I was like, is this for real? And I called Fox TV, and I was like, hey, is it for real they're having a Power Ranger audition? And they got, yeah, show down to this studio downtown at this time and try out. So I said, screw it, I guess I'll go give it a shot. And I get there, and there's like 4,000 people in the parking lot. And I was like, oh God, there's no way I'm making this. There's no way I'm gonna make it through, you know? And went and did my little routine for them. And like a couple days later, they called me back, and they're like, hey, we really liked your audition. We wanna fly you to California to meet the producers. And I was like,
awesome.
Am I being punked? I mean, punked hasn't even been started yet, but am I being punked?
The precursor.
Right, yeah. Like, is this candid camera?
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was no joke. They had an airplane ticket waiting for me at the airport. I flew into LA. That same day that I flew in, that same day I auditioned for Haim Saban right in his corporate office.
Oh my gosh.
And then.
And it was a done deal, right then?
Right on the spot. He gave me the job.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. He goes, yeah, we're gonna film for like a month and a half for the TV show so we can get some episodes in the can, and then we're going to Australia to do a movie.
So right out of the gate, a movie.
I auditioned on a Saturday, and by Wednesday, Haim and them were telling me, yeah, congratulations, you're the new Red Ranger, and we're going to do a movie in Australia in a month. Like, my life changed.
Did you have the fish out of water feeling during this?
It was total fish out of water. Because I had no aspirations to be an actor. I had no, any background in it, I didn't even take a drama class in high school, nothing, you know what I mean? I just did straight up martial arts. So everything else was on the job training for me, for sure.
Cool. Another question just about the filming and stuff, and I know you have the background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Did you have to learn anything new for Power Rangers, and how often, did you learn more forms of karate, or did they teach you anything, or did you teach them?
I started out on Taekwondo, and that's when I got hired, that's what I did. But I always kind of did my own style of it, where I'd mix gymnastics into the Taekwondo routines. So the stunt guys were already familiar with my style, so there was nothing new that I was learning or had to do or anything like that. But they would just kind of work around what I knew, and then they would create a choreography for me, or they'd let me create my own choreography. And then I didn't start learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu till much later, after I already left Power Rangers.
Did you do that competitively, or did you ever do like MMA circuit or any of that kind of thing?
I competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, which there's no striking, it's just all grappling.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I competed in dozens and dozens and dozens of grappling tournaments coming up the ranks, for sure.
I know as a kid, Power Rangers was a huge part of my life. And now seeing kids today, do you still see that fire in their eyes when they see you and think you're a superhero? And what kind of feeling? That must feel great.
Well, honestly, what's really the coolest thing is when, a guy who's like 28, 29 or whatever, and he comes up and he brings his 5-year-old kid, and he's like, hey, man, we watch Power Rangers together, the old school stuff. And then the kid's like, hey, Rocky, they know me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I think's the coolest, because not only is it like still alive and all that stuff like that, but it's like also kind of giving people a way to bond,
Generational gap too. You bring your kids in and they'll love it too. 100%. Out in the Power Rangers movie, I think there was a high jump sequence that I wanted to ask you about, where you did a high, I think it was a skydive kind of segment.
Skydiving,
yeah. Was that like actually a live shot thing, or did you do that? Or
live shot, but that was not us though.
Oh, okay.
There's just too much of a liability with that, and besides, we could never do all of that stuff with that because they were professionals. You know what I mean? They got thousands of jumps underneath them. They know how to do all that acrobat stuff in the air. We never had any jump training. You know what I mean? We could never have prepared to look as good as they did in enough time. You know. So and besides, if one of us got dead, that would have put a damper.
Oh yeah,
that put a damper on
Power Rangers.
movie,
Yeah, I was like, Power Rangers is family friendly. We can't have that. And then last question, just to tie it into what's going on right now in the Marvel universe. Are you a Marvel fan at all with this whole Infinity War coming out?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, so don't say anything.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm going to see it when I get back home. I fly back on Monday, and then I'm going to check it out on Tuesday, first thing in the morning. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to see what's going on. And everybody at this whole convention has been raving about it.
Who's your favorite comic character? And then we can say goodbye.
Character hands down is Superman.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Superman is my jam. Ever since I was a little kid, I loved Superman. I made my own Superman suit with I had blue sweats and a blue sweater, and I had red underoos that I pulled over the sweatpants. And
Superman did
and
that.
I safety pinned a towel, a red towel to my sweater, and I put a bunch of Vaseline in my hair to make the curl go.
Oh
and
yeah.
That's how I walked around, man.
And then you became a superhero, though. You know,
Exactly,
became a superhero later.
Red and Blue Ranger in training.
Oh yeah, right. Well, like I told you before the interview started, you were always my favorite Red Ranger, and our viewers are gonna love that you did this with us. So, cheers, man. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you at another con soon.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one, but whatever.
Yeah. Thank you.